I'd like to welcome everybody to the second race of the day here at Voice of America Park. It's the boys 15 and 16 as well as 17 and 18 race. We run together and scored separately. You can see from behind the starting line, everybody getting lined up. We've got coaches there giving last minute instructions, parents holding warm-ups as people disrobe and get ready for the start of the race. It's a little bit warmer here today than everybody expected, so you got people trying to get Under Armour and other stuff off in anticipation of what is apparently going to be a warmer day today than the weather report said. But first, let's go over the course changes. Here we have the course map. If you notice, you start with the blue big start up in the left-hand corner. Then you run down, but instead of doing that big downwards loop, you kind of cut over to where that red arrow is pointing, and you just kind of go straight there, kind of a small bump down and then a big blue loop around. Instead of doing that bottom section, that's just too soupy, that's going to be cut out of the course, and you can see where the yellow loop is smaller. Instead of doing the yellow loop on the second lap, it'll be two of the blue larger loops, and then around to that yellow part around behind the start to the finish. 5K course, that's going to be our competition course for the day. Now back to the race. Everybody's going through their final warm-ups and run-outs. Have about 150 individuals in this national championship race. Have several different teams competing today. We're looking at about 23 teams competing. We'll be going over who all is competing here today, but we're getting ready to start the race here in just a moment. We're here at Voice of America Park. In the southern portion of Ohio. Starting it off with a huge cannon blast. Been doing that for the last several years. Always kind of startles you just a little bit. We're on the line. Poised for the cannon blast, and the cannon blast, and they're off. You can see the inset at the top. We have two camera angles on today's start of the race. The front and the back. We'll be taking you to locations all across the course and then a finish along with interviews and the awards presentation.
Boys 5K, first lap, race time, 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
We're here at the 2-minute 40-second mark of the race. Kind of hear them splatting in the mud. It's already a little bit more chewed up than when the girls ran just 30 short minutes ago. Don't know how many times we're going to be traversing this area, but I'm pretty confident it's most of the day, so really feel sorry for the 13-14 boys that'll be running the last race across this. Of course, we're anticipating a little bit of rain. Hopefully the rain will hold off on the high winds. Some reports that there's high winds as high as 70 miles per hour in Indiana heading this way, so hopefully we can get the races over with before the really bad weather hits. As I mentioned, there's 23 teams competing here today. They're really the teams to look for, the teams that have dominated this over the last decade. Roll Call Blazers, Team Kentucky, Jinx America, also the Accelerators. Some of the top teams to look for here today. Also competing, a new one, Elgin Road Warriors. Of course, the Elgin Sharks have competed in this event for a decade or so, but maybe that's a permutation of the Elgin Sharks or maybe just a new team from Elgin. Low competing today, Buffalo Chips. Nashville Youth, they've been really active for the last several years. River City. Now we're taking to another portion of the course. We'll be giving you the race time. You can see kind of off to your right is what would have been the yellow section of the course that was eliminated because of the soupy section. We're doing the blue part 2 times. Race time is 6:30.
Race time 6:34, 6:30.
Not quite the midpoint of the race yet, but we're getting to that point. Other teams, Sharks, the Southern Indiana Running Club, Seashore Striders, they've been active for years, particularly at the younger levels. Indiana Blast, Fisher's Fire, Kentucky Fusion, Belvedere Tornadoes, Body and Training, Indiana Stat. Don't quite know anything about that team. No stats on Indiana Stat. Indiana Cal Striders, Staley Striders, Running Tigers, Sovereign Grace, and the Knights, rounding out our field of 23 different teams competing here today at the 2017 edition of the Cross Country Coaches National Youth Championship.
Good job, Wyatt. Move it up. Let's go.
Held here at Voice of America Park.
Let's go, Garrett.
Obviously, the Brokaw Blazers are a team to look for. One of the top performers to look for is Dereje Himbago. It's a hard name to say, but he was the winner of the 13-14 boys last year in Evansville, Indiana, and he's competing in this race. Dereje, nothing but first places this year. He's competed in 5 different events prior to today's running. Competed at the Rattlesnake Run, the Guyman Invite, that's a home meet for him, the Cowboy Jamboree, regionals, and then state in Oklahoma. And in each and every one of these races, Dereje has placed first in the competition. The Cowboy Jamboree had about 2,000 runners in all different events competing, not necessarily in the boys' varsity race. But it's the 81st annual Cowboy Jamboree, and they bill themselves as the hardest cross-country course in America. Don't know if that's factual or not. Haven't been to that course, but it's in Stillwater, Oklahoma. And they've been running that race for 81 years. And Dereje walked away with top honors as well as a state title for his high school team. He's a freshman. He's competing here today along with Brokaw Blazers. He knows what it takes to be a national champion, and see if he can do it on the high school level as he did on the middle school level. Be taking you to the second lap of the course. They're just finishing out the first lap. Here's our top runners. Dereje's in a neat little pack. Looks like Logan, his a teammate, Logan Jiskra, is with him, and Hadley Splector is right in there. All 3 of them going through the mud together as the front pack. Looks like Ethan Thomas might be right around the 4-man. A slew of Team Kentucky coming in. They ought to figure out well in the team score. Looks like Brokaw's the team to beat, with maybe Team Kentucky second right now in the team standings. We'll give you those final results here at the conclusion of the race. A lot of individuals coming through, about 150 runners in this race. 2016, Brokaw Blazers won the 15-16 division with Team Kentucky second and the Accelerators third. Top runners was Josh Rogers with the Accelerators. Kel Carson, Brokaw Blazers second. Hadley Splector, from Brokaw Blazers third. That was last year, and Hadley is right in the mix. He's one of the top 3 runners that went through there, so see if he's going to vie for a national championship here in a little bit. In the 17-18 division, last 2 years, 2016 and 2015, in the 17-18 division, Isai Rodriguez, running for Jinx America, was the national champion in the older age group. Jinx America was able to ride that first place into a national title in 2015. And in 2016, last year, they placed third. Brokaw Blazers first, Team Kentucky second. And then behind Jinx America in third was fourth place Seashore Striders. And then a running club that I'm not too familiar with, the Mora Running Club, was fifth last year in the 17-18 division. Isai is graduated out and will not be running today. So it's time for some new faces. We'll be taking you straight on into the finish line from this portion of the second lap of the course. We're in the back section of the course here at Voice of America Park. We'll be taking you just past the starting line into the finish line in just a moment to see who is going to be the new 2017 national champion. And here we go. Runners coming in. Daraje in first place. Hadley Splector, last year's third man, was this year's runner-up. Logan Jiskra, third. And then the fourth person across the line, Ethan Thompson. He's in the 17-18 division, so he'll be the national champ in the 17-18 division. Daraje Himbago, national champ in the 15-16 division. Following up his 13-14 national championship last year in Evansville, Indiana, here at the Cross Country Coaches National Youth Championship. See a ton of runners, a lot of blue and red, and a lot of green and black, so looks like Brokaw Blazers are going to figure well into the team score along with Team Kentucky. Maybe a race for that third spot this year. We'll be catching some of our top runners for an interview at the conclusion of the race here at the Cross Country Coaches National Youth Championship. As I mentioned previously, Isai Rodriguez was the 17-18 national champion for the past 2 years. This year it looks like it's going to Ethan Thompson, running for Brokaw Blazers, but coming in second last year in the 17-18 division, Clayton Adams and Daniel Mazee from Jinx America was third, and Parker Jones in 2015 was the winner of the 15-16. Have a split screen here. On the left is the race in progress. On the right is a slow motion of Daraje Himbago, the new 15-16-year-old national champion, coming in slow motion there. And then, of course, as you can see, our runners are still coming in. Then we also want to highlight the effort today of Hadley Splector. Hadley was third last year. And on the right in slow motion, you see Hadley coming in, teammate of Daraje Himbago, coming in for his runner-up spot this year at the Cross Country Coaches National Youth Championship. Shout out to Hadley. You can see our runners are still coming in. And as we continue our look back, Logan Jiskra. Brokaw was our third man in today. 15-16 division. Congratulations to Logan. And while it wasn't a complete 1-4 sweep, because this young man, Ethan Thompson, is actually in the 17-18 division, he is our new national champion, replacing Isai Rodriguez, who had it last year from Jinx America. Congratulations to Ethan Thompson, also running for Brokaw Blazers. Several more runners coming in. We've been able to corral our top 4 finishers, and we'll have an interview with them here in just a moment. We're here at Voice of America Park at the 2017 edition of the Cross Country Coaches National Youth Championship. Great crowd on hand, lots of wonderful vendors. Good food, nice apparel, and I wish we could have maybe panned the camera around. Directly in behind the finish is Tent City, and I've never seen so many tents and such elaborate tents and camp areas, but just a really nice team atmosphere at today's meet. And now on to our interviews with our top performers.
Okay, we're here with the top 4 finishers in the boys high school race. Today's champion, Daraje, take me through your race today.
I ran a really great race with these guys, and then that helped me a lot. Javier was covering me like the wind, and then I was like until 2.5 minutes behind him, and then just told me to stay behind him, and then Logan, and then Ethan. It was a great race with them.
Hadley, you were the runner-up today. What'd you think about the race today?
I wasn't sure how it was going to go with all the conditions. We thought it was going to be raining, but we didn't expect the wind. But I mean, I knew Daraje was in it to win it, so I really wanted to kind of save his energy. So I tried to block that mostly. I tried to keep him out of the mud, but I mean, it was all around team effort, got it done.
Well, y'all did excellent. Logan, tell me about your race today.
Well, it was fun. That's everything right now.
Okay.
Great team effort.
Ethan, what school you run for?
I ran from E High School.
And where's that at?
Kansas.
And Daraje, where do you go to high school at?
It was Guyman, Oklahoma High School, and it was a great school, and then I've got support from all around the Guyman, and then they helped me a lot, and then to come up here and they pay me all that stuff, and my family and some of my friends, they're just awesome.
So how'd you do in the Oklahoma State meet?
I did pretty good, and we won as a team, and then I got first place too.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
And Hadley, what school you attend?
I go to Yates Center High School, and that's in Yates Center, Kansas.
And Logan?
I go to Shawnee Mission North, which is in Overland Park, Kansas.
Okay. So we got, 3 Kansas, 1 Oklahoma in the top 4 today?
Yeah.
Well, great, guys. You did an excellent race. Kind of rough conditions. The weather, we didn't expect it at all to be as warm as it really was today. But definitely muddy. You all make a good photograph with all the mud. Yeah, let's get a close-up on your legs there. If we can see all the mud on the on the legs. You're all just...
So much for the shoes.
Yeah. You're all covered. But congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you.
In 23rd, Garen Blaylock. 22nd is Ezekiel Hemboy. 21st is Kyle Bell. 20th is Hale Eckert. 19th, Will Hannock. 18th is Keegan Stack. 17th is Landon Casino. And 16th, TJ Robinson. 15th, Liam Neidig.
Liam!
In 14th, Peyton Fairchild.
Way to go, TJ and Liam!
In 13th, John Gula. In 12th, Drake Kropp.
Yep, that's him.
11th is Connor O'Shea. 10th place, Corey Nobles. 9th place, Ryan Maynard. 8th place, Austin Cave. In 7th place, Owen Pierce. In 6th place, Jonah Mitchell. 5th place is Christian Parker. 4th place is Reese Gibson. In 3rd place, the time of 15:41 from Brokaw Blazers, Logan Jiskra. In 2nd place, with a time of 15:35 from Brokaw Blazers, Hadley Fletcher. And your champion with a time of 15:34 from Brokaw Blazers, Daraje Himbago.
Now for our team standings. Shout out to the boys 15-16 team champions, Brokaw Blazers in first with Team Kentucky second. In the 17-18 division, Brokaw A and B teams first and second, Team Kentucky third, and Jinx America fourth.